In today's thrift store challenge, we will be headed over to World Market to get some much needed inspiration, and then we are headed over to the thrift store to see what we can come up with for a whole lot less. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Kicking off this World Market video talking about some of the fall decor that they had available in their store. And it was honestly kind of surprising how many beautiful options they had. I didn't really realize that World Market was so season specific, but they did have really beautiful options there. I love these almost like gourd shaped vases, but a set of these would cost over $50. On the more affordable end of things were these pre-arranged floral arrangements in a pumpkin. And that's kind of one thing I've stopped buying retail. So what I like to do is go to the thrift store. I can find that season specific item. It might not be the right color, but that's no problem because we can just spray paint it. In addition to the vase or container or vessel, I like to look at the florals at the thrift store. I went in my stash and I just grabbed florals that I already had on hand, as well as picked up some of those straw-like florals to kind of replicate what I had seen at World Market. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm just gonna give this pumpkin vase a couple quick coats of some white matte spray paint. I like to flip it upside down first, work on the bottom, and then flip it right side up. And then that way you're kind of left finishing off how it's going to be presented in your home. I took my floral arrangement and I placed it inside of the vase after sealing it. And this is how it turned out. Total cost of this project was just $3, which is a significant savings if I were to purchase the pumpkin floral arrangement from World Market. A little bit of a style breakdown in terms of what you could find at World Market is they definitely incorporate a lot of abstract wall art pieces. A lot of color is incorporated in their wall art pieces, and they definitely are influenced by mid-century modern and eclectic design styles. But another place you can find really beautiful artwork is the thrift store. Now, one thing I don't come across though that often at thrift stores are these kind of decorative wall baskets that look like this. Usually if I find baskets, they're kind of like in bags like these. And while the basket idea is definitely nice, it reads a little bit too boho for my space. So kind of a different take on that idea is instead to place these wooden sculptures up on the wall. So I ended up finding this one at the thrift store that I'm assuming someone used for Christmas. I removed the Christmas ribbon, so I needed to figure out something that I could put inside of that hole just to make it look more intentional. So I ended up picking up a belt from the thrift store for a couple bucks. I just cut off the excess and tied it in a knot. So then that way when it's up on the wall, everything looks like it's just one solid piece. That hole was always just meant to be there to add that little leather detail. Now let's kind of get into some pieces you would want to keep your eyes out for at the thrift store for back to school. Okay, so we are back home from the thrift store. I ended up picking up this chair as well as this desk and this poof. The poof was only $3, and at my local thrift shop, the Hartville thrift shop, unless it's otherwise marked, all of the pillows and cushions are $3. And then the desk ended up being $8 initially, but then because I used a 20% off coupon, it was even cheaper than that. And then the chair was $6. So we are well under any sort of a budget. Anything comparable to you would find at World Market would cost a small fortune in comparison to everything that I found. Don't really need to do anything with this, and the chair is actually like in perfect condition. I don't even barely need to clean it because it looks brand new. So I'm gonna set these off to the side, but the desk, we gotta work on some stuff here because it's not bad. I just, and I actually kind of like the green color. It's not bad, but I think we can just neutralize it a little bit. So I'm just going to paint it and change this knob to maybe something that's just like slightly more interesting. So I'm gonna go out to my garage now and just see what I have so I don't have to spend any more money. In the garage now, I am looking for, what's this? Chalk style paint. It looks almost like gray though. I kind of wanted it to be more like black. Green, I thought I for sure had left over. Yeah, satin black. What's this guy look like? Okay. Drop cloth for sure. I've collected just some of my supplies over here to just remove these little pieces back here. I don't know if a mirror or something. I'm not sure why this is here, but I'm gonna remove that and then remove the knob. Don't be frozen. Oh, thank God. So when I was at the thrift store, I was intentionally looking for decor that I could put on top of the desk. So when I came across this desk light for just $3, and it works perfectly, everything is still intact here. I'm not totally crazy about the color of the gold, so I'm going to spray paint that. Found this little container here. I think I could probably either use this for like pens, pencils, or use it for some greenery. If I put like a glass vase inside of here, then that could add a nice decor element to the desk styling. Heading over now to the World Market website, if I were to buy 5 of these kind of comparable pieces to what I found at the thrift store, I would be spending with shipping and all of that close to $1,000. So now taking a closer look on what I spent on my thrifted pieces, we are all in at $20 total, which is such a major savings, and in my humble opinion, looks equally beautiful. Like Anthropologie, World Market has a lot of really beautiful options for tinted glassware, a lot of blown glass, and they're using those kind of traditional fall colors with the kind of burgundies and oranges and greens. So I wanted to keep my eyes out at the thrift store to see what I could find. And I came across this large jug vase that was just $2 in this kind of olivey green color. And then I also came across this slightly smaller one for $4, but then it was a green tag day, so it was just $2. For the larger of the 2 vases, I went outside to my willow tree and I had some clippings taken off and I just added some water to it. And I think this is such a statement vase, but it was so affordable. Now this is where things can kind of get really expensive, and I don't usually love to buy large scale pieces of upholstery from the thrift store. And that's just a personal preference. It's just what I feel comfortable with in my space, and that might look a little bit different for you. But when it comes to what you would pay at some of these bigger stores, you're gonna pay a small fortune for some furniture. So I do at least like to look at the thrift store. So I ended up finding this gray couch. There was some water stains, and usually in couches like these, I would just pass on it. So I ended up finding this gray couch here, and the reason I decided to take it home was A, it was only $30, and B, all of the covers could be removed. So when I'm able to do that, not only is it going to give me a lot more flexibility, and this couch is probably gonna last a lot longer in my space, but it's gonna make me feel way better about cleaning it overall. So after I just assessed the situation, I decided to just vacuum it, disinfect it with some disinfecting spray, and then I also scrubbed it down with some antibacterial soap, and then I let it dry. Based on the manufacturer tag, I think that this couch originally came from Ashley's, so I'm not sure of its original cost, but I am sure it was not only $30. The last little thing I had to do, I couldn't find my furniture pen that was black, so I just took some eyeliner and I just shaded in those spots there and let that absorb, and this was the end result. I'm so happy with this purchase. It was so affordable. If you're just starting out, it's worth at least checking your thrift store to see what they have. Moving right along into textiles. So when I think about World Market, although they have beautiful pillows, I think they're more known for like having really good options for like poofs, bean bags, floor pillows, things like that. So when I came across these cushions here, if you guys watched my Hobby Lobby dupes video where I kind of redid parts of my son's room, and it kind of has this like grayish blue undertone color in his space. So when I came across these chair cushions, and they were each again just $3 from the Hartville thrift shop, put them on these little chairs in his room, and it's like the perfect little addition. A color that I noticed a lot in World Market was yellow, and I found both of these pillows at the Goodwill. Now one of them was damaged, but the other one was in perfect condition. So I don't use a lot of yellow in my space, but I couldn't pass on this pillow. I thought it was so beautiful. So I thought it would be perfect to gift to one of you guys, as well as this green vase that again was just $2 at the Goodwill. And last but not least, that huge bag of rattan pieces. There was two of them that were more more just kind of oval shapes, so that would look good for like some shelf styling, but then the circular ones you guys could maybe like connect together to make some really cool, interesting wall art and add some texture up to your walls. And I will gladly send this off to one of you. Just make sure you comment down below that you are interested. And as for last week's pitcher and tray combination, I'm gonna pop the name up here, so then that way I can send these off to you. And that about wraps it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments which find or project was your favorite. And I hope I will see you guys next week for some Pottery Barn fall dupes. Bye for now.